Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar host, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB, and download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Everything you need in the palm of your hands to build your winning DFS lineups. I know it helped me with college football on Saturday night when I was bored and just wanted a late lineup that was beautiful. So a little quick, simple stuff like that. I highly recommend you check it out. And people are winning all sports. We're getting tweets and stuff. So really good stuff there. You can find myself on Twitter at BDentric, and my co-host is always on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good outside of my Steelers losing, and I lost in my season-long fantasy baseball league, and just being a little angry tonight, and we're doing this later, so kept you up late, well past your bedtime, Grandpa, already well past oatmeal time, so, it's just been a long day is all, and I know it's even longer for you, so my apologies for making us late, but we got to see a cycle today. That's fun.
On 5 total pitches.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I think Ohtani struck out 10 more. So, still a fun day.
Yeah, it's crazy. They were literally, I think it was Thursday or Friday. They said, Ohtani's going to get shut down and not pitch the rest of the season. Then the very next day, they're like, he'll pitch Sunday in Oakland. Then he goes 8 innings and strikes out 10. It's like, so nothing was wrong with him, or what? What? It was like so bizarre. It's almost like, well, he's not hitting. We need the MVP buzz is starting to go to Vlad.
It's just like they go up to him and they're like, it's almost like he has selective work days. Like, hey, do you want to work today? It's like, nah, maybe a little.
Yeah, do you just want to hit,
like, okay,
or you get to pitch? Yeah, you get to pitch pretty soon, or how's that going to work for you?
Do you want to work today? I'll work tomorrow. How about that? It's like, all right, okay, we'll pitch him Sunday. That's fine.
To be fair, they have like the best deal on the planet because they got him at like a rookie level deal, and so he hasn't got paid the big bucks yet. Once that check comes in, then it's like, kid, you're pitching every 5 days. Let's go. But can you imagine what he gets paid? Basically, you're an all-star hitter and an all-star pitcher. Like, it's crazy.
Oh man, I mean, that's going to be one of those. Shohei Ohtani now owns 10% of the Angels. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to have to come with weird incentives like they do in soccer and stuff.
Yeah, well, it could be a whole other podcast. So I think eventually we're going to get into incentive deals. There's going to be incentive deals because some of these guys are going to be getting too much darn money pretty soon. But that's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother day. What we do have is 2 weeks of baseball to go. 2 weeks. A couple of the pennant races are good. Giants are only up 1 game right now. It's been stressful in this house. 12 games to go. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
That I don't have to worry about at all.
Yeah, so you haven't had to worry about that since April.
Yeah, D-backs lost their 100th game here in Houston this weekend, so I'm doing okay. No more stressing about that stuff. And I'm sure everyone is happy about me not complaining about them anymore. So
the last thing I'll mention from the weekend, and I know you're busy with your football stuff, but did you see what Mookie Betts did?
Yeah, didn't he get the home run back for Fried?
Yeah, Fried. He got the guys in the bleachers to throw it back, in the very next inning, he came out with an autographed bat for the guys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool because it wasn't even a guy on his team. It was on the Reds. It was a first career home run. He's like, I want the ball, and they threw it back to him. Like, that was pretty cool because usually, some guys.
That's classy, man.
Yeah, that was good stuff, and he knew how important that would be and stuff. So, like I've said many times on many different shows, like I'm a Giants fan and I hate the Dodgers, but every year it gets harder and harder to hate the Dodgers because guys like Mookie Betts and Walker Buehler and even Clayton Kershaw. Yeah, and the Astros. It gets tough. So,
but I tell you what I did like was Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis fighting in that dugout. I was sitting there over there good.
Yes,
good.
Exactly. Yeah. There's trouble in the force. I feel it.
We like that. Make them hate each other. Trade one of them. So
what the funny thing was is I was actually happy to see that there were people that came to Machado's defense. You would have figured Tatis would have got all the love, but they're like, no, he's a veteran teaching the kid that we have a long shot chance to still get in the playoffs. We can't afford you getting tossed because of a called third strike. Like he was basically telling him, this is bigger than you, kid. Get it together.
Right.
So I respect
You
it.
know what? Machado's probably right, or he is right in that scenario. It's the first time Machado has done the mature thing in his life.
Be true.
So it seems incredibly hypocritical.
Yeah, it's
So.
very hypocritical, but he finally did it. It was just like, interesting. So we'll see how that plays out. But here we go. 7 games on a Monday, September 20th, to get it going. And it's typical stuff. There's 3 games that start like 30 minutes beforehand. They don't put them on the slate because it's cool like that. So it makes this podcast go quicker. At the same time, it makes the slate kind of, 3 more games, make 10 would have been pretty cool. But we'll kick things off for you in Philadelphia. Baltimore at the Philadelphia Phillies. We have John Means, Rangers, Suarez. Over under 8. Means is 77 and 84. Suarez 65 and 9,000. All I have to say is 6,500 for Suarez is criminal.
Yeah, he's going deep into games. He's been getting keeping this strikeout pace. So I'm in on Suarez specifically at that price. What I wrote down about John Means is maybe you can talk me into him unless you're off. Then I think I'm also off. But because he's just been so wishy-washy. It's like, oh, look, he threw 6 innings, but he struck out 3 or 4, So he's been good, but just not good enough for me to want to buy in. I'd rather have Suarez.
Yeah, I'm pretty much off Means. Like, it's one of those, if you're doing a ton of lineups, okay. But for me, he's not in my core. I want a lot of Suarez. I'm going to take the bait. 9,000 on FanDuel is a little trickier. I'll be honest about that.
Yep.
But 65 on DK, sign me up like in a heartbeat. Any bats on this one? Because I will say, if you are fading Suarez, the Orioles do hit lefties very well.
Yeah, but I'm more, Harper, Odubel, Segura. Those are pretty much the guys I like in this game. Like I said, if you are, or like you said, if you are picking through Hayes, Santander, Mullins, Mountcastle, out of that group.
Yeah, Harper is still unconscious. Just keep playing him. JTR's got first base eligibility now, which is awesome.
Love that.
And then Segura, I will say, people forget him a lot. He double donged over the weekend. He's slowly getting the power stroke back just in time to finish the season. So keep him on your radar as well. Texas at the New York Yankees. This won't be chalky at all. We have AJ Alexi making the start because Kojay or Arihara got DFA'd because Mike Fultonevich is back from the COVID IL. Texas pitching, great thing. But AJ Alexi, he's been okay. Goes up against Nestor Cortez, over under 9.5. Cortez is 86 on DK, 85 on FanDuel. He is a phenomenal play on both sides to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's just gotten better every start. So I love Cortez here. I'm absolutely with you, which, even though we do occasionally like to stack these Rangers, I'm just not going to mess with that tonight. Alexi finally got smashed last time against Houston, so I'm just not going to be in on him. I'd rather go with, Judge, Stanton, Gardner, LeMahieu. Gio went he went deep tonight, didn't he? So, yeah. So I'm going to pick out of the Yankees hitters and Cortez.
Yeah, Yankees are a great stack. They're going to be very popular, I think. And I'm 100% on Cortez. But I will say Gleyber Torres is cheap. He's not hitting for power, but he's hit safely, I think, like in 9 of his last 10 games with a couple multi-hit games in there. It just takes like one of those to do something, and you have a big night for super cheap. So it's not like he's striking out a million times right now like he was before. So keep Gleyber Torres in mind. And Brett Gardner is almost the minimum on DraftKings, and I think he's 24 or 2,500 on FanDuel. And he's been leading off a ton. If he's leading off at that price point for the Yankees, that is ridiculous. So those two guys bring great value to a pretty obviously awesome lineup to attack. Toronto at Tampa Bay on this one. We got Robert Ray going up against Shane Baz making his MLB debut, which everyone's pumped for. But God, Boggs, wouldn't you love to make your debut against the Toronto Blue Jays of all teams?
Yeah, not so much.
Do some help to the kid. Like, he was sitting in the dugout on Sunday. Couldn't you pitch him Sunday? But the over-under is 8 on this game. Robbie Ray's 10-2 on DK, 11,000 on FanDuel. I just can't play for Baz on this slate. But Ray, definitely in play.
Yeah, Ray, absolutely. I'm with you on Baz. Suarez is cheaper than him. I'd rather go with him. So, yeah, Ray, absolutely in play. And then your expensive ass Blue Jays here again. Vlad, Teoscar, Bo Bichette. He went yard today. Marcus Semien, Lourdes Gurriel, Grichuk. I'm picking out of that bunch.
Yep, the usual Jays are in play. Gurriel's still too cheap. He's down to 32 on DK. I just laugh at the irresponsibility of these sites sometimes, but I appreciate it too. So lots to like with Toronto, of course, and I'm curious to see what their ownership projections look like because so many people do like Shane Baz. Like, if you can get a low-owned Toronto stack, that is uber entertaining to me. St. Louis at the Milwaukee Brewers. Jake Woodford taking on Freddie Peralta, over under 8. Woodford's 52 and 62. Peralta 92 and 89. I still can't use Peralta. He went 71 pitches. He was super efficient last time. He hasn't gotten more than like 80 pitches in 3 or 4 starts. No, I can't do it.
Yeah, the pitch number max makes me off of Peralta as well, which is unfortunate. I would love to use him here, but can't do it. Woodford is just no thank you. So let's go with Goldie, 6 for 11 with 2 doubles, 2 bombs against Freddie. O'Neill, Arenado, Carlson, Edmund, Bader, not a lot doing for Milwaukee recently. Wong has been good. Kane has been good. Real happy that Ryan Braun retired. Good riddance, if you guys know anything about me. But so Goldie's my favorite bat here.
Yeah, no, this St. Louis stack's one of my more fun sneaky stacks because people still see Peralta. They don't want to do it, and I get it. But if he only goes 4 or 5 innings, well, let's dance. Let's see what happens. So Goldie, O'Neill's been on fire. There's Carlson, Edmund. Like I said, Carlson's kind of starting to get there. He's super cheap. I don't mind a little bit of St. Louis action be contrarian. Milwaukee's fine too. There's tough to stack. So if you want to play just Eduardo Escobar, he's crushing it right now. So I got no problem with Eddie as well. But this was an interesting game. The St. Louis Milwaukee game, I think, kind of gets overlooked, but could have some nice sneakiness to it. Sneaky. Houston at Los Angeles Angels, Vanaheim, Framber, Valdez, Jaime, Barria, over under of 9 on this one. Valdez 95 and 93, Barria 56. I will say this about Framber. He got scratched on Friday, was day-to-day with a knee injury. He's pitching Monday. Supposedly he's good to go, and LA can't hit lefties. Yeah,
I mean, look, his last start was against the Angels, and he was great. So I don't have a lot of fear going back to him. I mean, I think most of my lineups are probably going to be Ray Suarez, but Valdez is definitely in the mix here as well. And, if you want, I mean, there's a lot of PVB here as well. Jordan Alvarez 3 for 6 with a double against Barria, 7 for 14 for Yuli with 4 doubles against him. And he's been hot. 8 for 19 for Altuve with 2 doubles and a bomb against him. If Jose Siri's in the lineup, he's been good. So yeah, I mean, Astros potential stack, and they're always expensive, but they are stackable, and Valdez is definitely in play.
Yeah, I love the Houston stack. The Siri value is very, very nice if he's out there. Yuli Gurriel's a little cheaper than he used to be. Bregman's still too cheap. There's some nice value to go with your Jordan Alvarez's. And I know Tucker left injured this weekend, and he's kind of day-to-day. So keep an eye on that one. That could definitely open up Siri and potentially some other cheap outfield options there with Houston on Monday's lineup. And then Valdez, don't mind using him. I also don't mind if you want to take chances with the Angels. They definitely struggled against lefties, but you get some nice values. You mentioned the BVP with Walsh and Stassi, who I always like. Fletcher's cheap, like really cheap. And then they also have Jose, I totally blanked on his name, Rojas. Jose Rojas has been extremely productive. He's $2,400 on DK. He's 2K on FanDuel. He's like second base outfield eligible. So he'd be another cheapie from the right side of the plate if you want to attack that direction. 2 games left on this 7-game Monday slate for you. Make sure you guys check out LineStar on the YouTube channel because we got the On Deck show and the 3 pre-snap shows a week over there on the LineStar YouTube channel. Give the old subscribe and the thumbs up. It would help us out a ton. And also give us a rating review on iTunes. We'd really, really appreciate it. Atlanta at the Arizona Diamondbacks. And this looks like I got Huascar Ynoa, or is it Tuki Toussaint? I don't know. It's all over the board because DraftKings has Ynoa up there right now. When you look at FanDuel, they're probably just still drunk and asleep. They have Toussaint. So, yeah, we are playing with fire right now. On the flip side, we have Frias, or we have, I think it's not Funky Cole Medina, but it's Mejia, Humberto Mejia.
Funky Cole Mejia.
Yeah, regardless, a really garbage
MLB's
pitcher.
got Ynoa, so it looks like it's going to be Ynoa.
So Ynoa's getting the start now. Yeah, Mejia. So Ynoa Mejia coming here. Ynoa's he's 92 or 91 on DK, which is reasonably priced. FanDuel, no price yet, of course. Are you interested in Ynoa, or is it all bats in this game?
Actually, I kind of like Ynoa. You said he's at 9,200.
Yeah.
You know what? This is what I'll say. I'm not gonna own him because of Ray and Valdez, and Cortez. But I guess he would be in play, but I do like bats in this game. I like Marte's been hitting. D-backs played 2 extra inning games against Houston, so they're at least putting their best foot forward right now. Varsho, Peralta, Freeman, Eddie Rosario coming off the cycle. Adam Duvall is hitting bombs nonstop. Austin Riley. So yeah, I like bats in this game more, but I'd say is probably in play.
Is definitely in play, not a must because there are better options, as you mentioned. And with him, it's like he gets you anywhere from like 18 to 24 points. Doesn't really have the ceiling some of the guys around him have. So keep that in mind. But the strikeouts have been there. I guess 7 or more Ks in his last 2 starts, which is big. So you face Arizona, who likes to strike out. I don't mind I love the Braves bats. They're too cheap on DraftKings, way too cheap. I don't understand what happened there. So that could be one of the little kind of free square stacks on this slate. And I don't mind the Arizona angle if you want to fade in, because you mentioned Ketel Marte, you mentioned Josh Rojas. There are some guys that are swinging some good bats. They're priced up, though, which is quite surprising. Like some of them or most of them are more expensive than the Braves. So it's very interesting. But I like Braves. I like If you want Arizona to be contrarian, I understand. Last game of the night here, Seattle at Oakland. Tyler Anderson, Sean Manaea over under 8.5 in this one. Anderson's 82 and 75, Manaea 89 and 98. Both these pitchers have their moments. For me, the moments will be against bats for me tonight. So what about you?
Yeah. I mean, look, I just pick wrong every single time I pick Manaea. It's turning into Zach Greinke for me. So I'm just going to go ahead with the bats. Mitch Haniger is 8 for 26 with a double and a triple against Manaea. It's 308 average. Matt Olson, I think, did Olson go yard today or I think it was Chapman. But Chapman. Harrison, Andrus, Starling Marte, Kelenic, Crawford, Dylan Moore has been hitting a little bit as well. So I'm going to pick bats, like you said.
Kelenic is still cheap, and he double donged today. He's got 3 homers in his last 3 games. He's been swinging a just outstanding bat in September. The average is like the 260-ish, which people will say, "Oh, it sucks." But like that's good for him. But the power's been great, and the walks are starting to get there. Like he's starting to look like that hitter that's going to suck us in for draft season next year. So I think he's a nice value. Some of the big bats like Haniger and France are nice, but they're priced up quite a bit. And then I love the A's side on this one. Love the A's side. Olsen, but Harrison, Kana, Marte are big starting points in there, and see kind of who else. Oh, Chad Pinder. He's free. Chad Pinder's free, and he gets a lefty. So remember that one as an option as well. All right, Bogman, 7 games in the books. Let's recap things real quick. Who are your pitchers on this wonderful slate?
My main guys I'm picking through are Ray, Valdez, and Cortez, and then secondaries of Suarez and Ynoa.
Yeah, my 3-pack is Ray, Cortez, and Suarez, and I will sprinkle in some Valdez and Ynoa. Those would be my other 2, but my main 3, Ray, Cortez, and Suarez. Who are you stacking up on this one?
I like that St. Louis against Milwaukee stack potentially. You mentioned Toronto, I mentioned Houston, and then maybe a cheap stack of Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I think Philly versus Means would be another one I'd throw out there as an option, and then somehow I'm going to end up having A's, and it's going to be a late night tilt fest when we record tomorrow night. So that'll be a lot of fun as well. But most importantly, we're back. We have 10 more days to get you swag for 10 more times. So let's see what we got here. We got Monday, the 20th. And what you have to do is follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. They will tweet out the home run call of the day from Bogman, myself, and Ryan Humphreys. Retweet that tweet. 3 lucky retweeters will get paired with each one of us. And if fire goes deep, you get some free swag. So Bogman, on Monday, September 20th, who is your home run call of the day?
Almost depressing. You mentioned there's only 10 days left here, So look, since I don't have that much time to pick him, give me Goldie again. Goldie's my favorite player.
That's your boy.
Let's get Goldie another bomb. I like that St. Louis stack too. So let's go Goldie.
There you go. Get some Goldie. I'm going to go to Houston, and I'm going to go to Jordan Alvarez versus whoever's pitching there. Jaime Barria, I believe, is who it is now.
The bullpen eventually, right?
Eventually, yes. So give me Jordan Alvarez for the Astros. You got your boy Goldie. We'll see who Ryan Humphreys gets. We'll hopefully get you guys some free swag. But make sure you guys check us out on Twitter at Bogman Sports, at BDendrick. Check out the Pre-Snap podcast. We'll be dropping a new episode on Tuesday to recap the Week 2 NFL action, and then we'll get you ready in the following days for the Week 3 action with picks and DFS preview. As always, that's the Pre-Snap podcast. But this is the On Deck podcast. We'll be back to you guys on Tuesday with another big slate of action. But until then, good luck, everybody.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to LineStarApp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.